Guess who's back, back again. Caitlin's back, still no tan.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Crazy Queen and welcome back to my channel. And more importantly for me, welcome back to Minnesota. That is right, I am back from my week-long trip to North Carolina. I got back around like 7 last Saturday. However, I have just refused to record or upload since because I am extremely lazy. Like I promised you guys before I left for the trip, this is a 2-video week. So this is video 1 of this week. Next video is going to be going up on Thursday like normal. Also, like I had said in the last video, one of the 2 videos this week is going to be dedicated to the trip of North Carolina. If you read the title of the video and you notice how much I'm saying the words North Carolina, you know that is this video. So let's get into it! While I was on this trip, I didn't bring my phone and unfortunately I couldn't bring my camera. So in other words, I have like no pictures from the entire trip. However, there were other people who brought phones or cameras, aka the adults, and they took a lot of pictures. So, North Carolina montage. Okay, that's enough of the montage. So before we even got to North Carolina or we got to our work site, we actually had to drive down there. So here's the thing. We were there with 2 other churches. One of them from Georgia, one of them from South Carolina. The South Carolinas are talking about how they had like a 4 or 5 hour drive. Oh, Georgia, they had maybe 8 hours? It took us 3 days of driving. First day of driving was 12 hours. Your 4-hour drive doesn't look that bad now, does it, South Carolina? But in all honesty, the trip down was actually quite fun. Everyone was either making bracelets, eating food, or asleep. You really can't go wrong with that. However, let me know I stuck with tradition and did not fall asleep in the car. I instead sat there with my eyes closed while fighting for consciousness. While on the trip down, we actually stopped in Nashville, Tennessee for lunch, and we ended up doing an escape room. I escaped with the best time as well. And the escape room was actually kind of funny because there were a few puzzles that only I knew, and there were some puzzles that I had no clue what we were doing. But one of the best puzzles, I'm going to be really vague with because we were told not to like talk about it outside. However, I still want to talk about it, so I'm just going to be vague. There were a bunch of sliding panels on the wall. Well, we moved one of the panels, and there was like this plastic thing, and it had like, looks like a camera inside. Now, I've read the Da Vinci Code books, so I knew exactly what to do. Where's the eyeball? I had found an eyeball earlier, and I knew exactly what it was. I just ran over, grabbed the dummy, ripped the fake eyeball out of its head, and boom, we unlocked the puzzle. It was a retina scan, if you guys haven't picked up on that. So that was really funny, because it was just me and one other person who knew about the eyeball. So there was another girl standing opposite side of the room trying to figure out the code. What eyeball? There's no eyeball. Oh. It was a fun time. And on the bonus of that, we had 2 groups going at the same time in different rooms. The room that my group was racing against, they never made it out. Yeah, we kind of rubbed it in their faces. And then it was just back to driving. And like I said before, it was a lot of eating, a lot of bracelets, and a lot of sleeping. We actually played this card game Mafia quite a lot because it's really fun, and who doesn't want to try to murder each other on a church trip? But anyways, we made it down to North Carolina at like 7 at night. We ate, went through orientation, and then immediately went to go to our rooms. So first thing, the girls' room was part of the large group gathering room that was separated by a bunch of sheets held together by clothespins and a string. Also, there was absolutely no AC in the building. And this is North Carolina that we're talking about. It gets extremely hot. And being a Minnesotan, like, my ideal weather is like 50 degrees, maybe 60. It was like 90 degrees in each of these rooms. So hallelujah for fans. Which one night some girl sleeping right next to me decided to graciously unplug the fan that two of us were using so she could charge her phone and on Snapchat all night. I wanted to grab my pillow and hold it on her face until she suffocated. And then, you know, plug the fan back in. All in all, it was a pretty nice building. There weren't showers on site, so we gotta go use the showers at the YMCA in Taylorsville, which was honestly awesome because normally the showers on site are complete trash. Like, seriously, they get used for like 2 months a year. There's like no maintenance keeping up with them. They are seriously trash. Or at least the one in West Virginia was. Maybe others are better. Now, we were at North Carolina, so 6 a.m. the next morning we were all up for breakfast. And after breakfast, it was straight to the work sites. Also, one thing that kind of sucks about mission trips, you're up at like 6 a.m. every day and you're not getting to bed until like 11 p.m. Top that with no AC, no proper beds, no Wi-Fi, and no showers on site. Now, I actually had a pretty fun time at the work site. This one site we were working at the soup kitchen, help preparing and serving the food, and just talking to some of the residents, most of which were actually homeless. Some of us actually got to talk to this really awesome homeless guy named Carlos, and he was like honestly the best. He even told us about this purposely flooded underwater city in, I believe it was Lake Norman, that we all really wanted to go see because you could like scuba dive down and just investigate this underwater city. But Carlos was not the best part of the soup kitchen. Oh, no. The best part was Babs. Babs is like the 60-year-old woman who helps run the soup kitchen. And she had a major crush on one of our kids. We had met Babs before while we were helping load up a truck to go to the Salvation Army. And there's this one dude in my group. I shall call him Eddie. Now, Babs was completely mesmerized by the fact that Eddie was a skinny boy with beautiful blue eyes. And it was hilarious. We refused to like let up on him on this. Every time we saw him, any mention of Babs, it was instantly, I hope Babs is thinking about that skinny boy with the beautiful eyes. We were really mean to Eddie. Another one of the jobs that we did was helping weed and clean up this old lady's garden. Not really exciting on the outside, but then there were the murder bushes. There were a bunch of bushes on the side of the house and kind of looked pretty nice. Almost kind of plasticky looking, to be honest. Well, it was very clear that there were a bunch of weeds coming up from behind these bushes, so you know what? I'll just quickly crawl behind, pull them out, and head back out. Yeah, fine, simple. But these were not normal bushes. These were spiky murder bushes. On the end of each and every single one of these leaves, there was a spike determined to stab you at every turn. I got stabbed by these bushes so many times, like I swear I am Swiss cheese. The murder bushes were not a fun time. And that's when you notice the murder bushes are all over Taylorsville. Luckily though, there were no murder bushes at the kids club site, which was another thing I got to do. At the very beginning, the kids were like really cold towards us just because we were the new people. But come Thursday, oh my god, they were like our best friends. Every single Thursday there was like this big kids club celebration. It's just like help celebrate the kids. It's a fun time. It's like a party. Well, normally it's a water day. Well, they were changing water day because there were a lot of problems in the past with people who didn't want to get wet, people starting war. They got rid of water day. And it was up to us to actually plan something in like 3 days. But you know what? We did. We ended up doing like a luau themed carnival. We got to do a bunch of different stations. We actually made our own stations. And by far, the one I was running was the most popular. To break it down, it was a race. You had a straw and a cotton ball. On the ground, there were 2 identical courses drawn in chalk. The kids' job was to race each other and use the straw and blow the cotton ball through the course to the end. Now, I've actually gotten this idea from like a minute to win a game at one of the banquets, actually. Remember the rope burn on my eye story? Yeah, this was actually a game I had gotten from that banquet. Not the same banquet, like it was, I think, maybe a year or 2 afterwards. No, the kids absolutely loved it. They gotta race each other. They gotta like try to challenge each other. A bunch of kids even challenged me because I was a super loud and dramatic announcer for the entire thing. It was a fun time. Either on Wednesday or Thursday, like shortly before dinner, we ended up climbing a mountain. We climbed up to Lowe's Peak and It was honestly beautiful. Like, there were crickets chirping all around. Like, you could see mountains just spanning as far as you could see. And eventually the sun started to set, so the sky like erupted in pinks, blues, and purples. It was just a tiny bit foggy, so it just created like this haze that you could just see mountains erupting out of. It was beautiful. However, we were also told not to go like past the vegetation or else we would fall off the mountain. No one did fall off. Sadly. I'm joking. Not sadly. And then there was the full group fun day. Now the escape room down in Nashville, that was my church's fun day for our church. The organization running the mission trip, they had planned a fun day for the entire group. We were going to this water park that was kind of tucked away in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm not gonna lie, on the way there we kept joking that our 2 drivers were gonna murder us because we were in the middle of nowhere. So, quick little background. The water there is like anywhere from 40 to 60 degrees really. Before we left, one of the staff was telling us like what to expect. And he said, and I quote, "Now, Minnesota, you probably don't need to worry about this, but for the rest of you, the water's kind of cold, so you might want to bring a sweatshirt." So South Carolina and Georgia, they're like putting a foot in, they're kind of like wading in all slowly, freaking out about how cold it is. Like 7 or 8 of us from Minnesota immediately went to a rope swing, launched ourselves into the water, and popped up all talking about how refreshing the water was. South Carolina and Georgia thought we were crazy. Let's be real, we are Minnesotans. We are crazy. The water park was really fun. There was a giant water slide, there was a rope swing that one person actually like refused to let go. There was this one dude, I'll call him Mr. Meme. The reason of the name is whenever he went down the slide, he would scream a different meme. For instance, "Here come dat boy, where's my super suit? Nah, Savannah!" But anyways, he went on the rope swing, got to the peak, and didn't let go. He was just swinging back and forth until the rope had like completely stopped, and he's still just holding on. So this one dude who was working at the water park, he had this stick and he tried to like prod the Mr. Meme off of the rope, and staff worker falls in, and Mr. Meme also falls in. You want to know the reason why he didn't let go? He thought that it launches you off naturally. I know, you have to let go. Ugh. And early Friday morning, we were back on the road heading back to Minnesota for even more sleeping, eating, and bracelet making. But all in all, the trip was really fun. There were a few things that really annoyed me, like little Miss iPhone having to turn off my fan in the middle of the night. I seriously woke up like 17 times, soaked in my own sweat. It was that hot in the room. But that's really all that I had to say about North Carolina and Taylorsville. So that is also that I have for this video. So like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you are new, and make sure to hit that little bell icon so you get notified about when I upload. I upload once a week every single Thursday.
And make sure to comment down below what you want to hear me say next week with the helium voice. We actually still have quite a few balloons left.
And I'll see you guys on Thursday with the second video of my second video week. Crazy Queen is out.